That's all you're getting out of me. Scurvy, I tell you. It's always scurvy. Oh, we're actually taking the past time. Oh, we always give it a couple of minutes, you know. Let the latecomers come in. Yes. Dang. Alright. I'm gonna give it to, let's say, 5 minutes total. So 3 more minutes. Just a heads up, both minor and major spelling mistakes. Well, I'll just have to make my own mistakes to cover it up. Don't worry. We'll pull through. We can make it if we tried and all that. Burp. God, I'm not feeling it today. I'm not feeling it today. It has been one of those bunch of days, man. Tabletop down the shitter. Been busy with all kinds of things. I'm just tired, and it's the warm day of the week. It's the warm day of the week. We got a bit of a big hot over here in Europe right now, and it's apparently gonna stay that way for a couple of days. Now, of course, all you fucking gormless fools who live in Texas are like, it's not so bad. To which I say, 1, you have AC. And 2, you fucking live in that weather. How about you go to, let's say, Jupiter? You know, the gravity's not so bad. I grew up there. I'll say it to your body as you crumple into a heap. And then we'll see who's adapted, who's overreacting now, huh, buddy? No, God, they're predicting. I thought it was going to be just today and tomorrow, and nope, they're like, yeah, it's going to last until Tuesday. I bet your fucking ass it's going to last until next fucking Sunday, because every goddamn time we get a heat wave, it does not stick around for half a week. European heat waves come, and they just never leave. Go to hell, weather forecast. You know that's wrong. How the fuck do your model say it's going to take just a couple of days? When every single time we've ever had one, it sticks around for a week minimum. What fucking model? And they're not even predicting, like, clouds or rain. It's just gonna stick around for no reason. Dude! Oh, that hot fucking sun, hot earth, leads to high pressure zones. It sticks around. I stay inside, man. Once the temperature hits a certain point, I'm like, it's not worth it. I might go out in the evening when the temperature gets, like, tolerable, or maybe in the morning, but I just don't go out during the midday. It can go fuck itself. Jesus. Naturally, everyone's gonna be like, oh, it's so great! The weather's great! It sure would. And we got this temperature like a couple of days, so... Alright, it's been 5 minutes, and I see that boy wife's here. So I imagine that all the regulars are around. So let's just get going. I was told that... I don't know, I think someone just said, hey, go do this, and now I'm doing it. So here we are. I know nothing about this. I know nothing. I've seen like 2 seconds, I think, of Armored Porcupine playing it, and that's literally it. So I know we're gonna have what, like a dude strapped to a chair, I think? I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't know. December 21st, 201,000,000, 2024. Near midnight. Volcaldera Bluffs. Not as cold as one might expect for this time of year. A warm front has blown up from the south, making it unseasonably warm. I mean, isn't Volcaldera Bluffs in fucking California? You're really close to the, what's it called? Equator. What are you talking about, buddy? Instead of snow, we're getting rain. It's California! You live at the fucking West Coast! Why does everyone keep thinking that snow is normal? Yeah, man. Los Angeles. The fucking city of snow. Jesus Christ. While everyone else is enjoying their New Year's Eve, I'm lurking in this very dark, very wet, very back alley of what the locals call Little Trudon. The door ahead of me is the rear entrance to one of the nicer restaurants in the area, which, as luck would have it, is closed for the evening, with all staff sent home. I like the serene. It's a bit scuffed, but I like the scuffed. Look at this fucking scuffy, man. It's just great. It's got a cutting and everything. It's certainly odd for such an upscale place to not host New Year's banquets. But perhaps the owners have their own parties to attend to elsewhere. Not that I'm complaining. No one being it just makes things easier for me. The more people get involved in this line of work, the more complicated things get. The only salt you get is fentanyl. Man, that's the upscale restaurants. Everyone gets like crack cocaine cut with like laundry detergent and salt. And you try to take a sniff, and it's like, oh! So an opportunity to keep this simple, do it quiet, and get out clean is quite welcome. Get out of your blades in the dark! A nice, easy burglary to start off the new year. We break in, we find whatever passes for a safe or lockbox, we crack it open, and steal whatever's inside. And then we leave and repeat until we have enough money to move on to the next city. Dude, oh my god, he's a Class D private. Why is his face so shadowy? I love how they just went with ABC. Eyes? Yes. Date of birth? Man is 24. Wait! How the fuck was this issued? It's... Oh, that's December. Sorry, it's December 2024. Not... That was from a minute like, wait, isn't it? No. 6 feet 3 inches! Private Wayne Doe. Not bad as far as made up names go, I suppose. And the military status is a nice touch. I'm pretty sure they literally think your name is private. Hello there, Mr. Pivot Wayne Doe. Military discounts may not be what they used to be, but they can still score a free coffee every now and then. Hopefully I can use it for a while. And when Private Wayne Doe has drawn too much attention, he and everything about him can disappear, and I become someone new. Get a load of fucking anon trace. Even got the wacky finger. Now, step 1. Getting through that door. Doesn't look terribly difficult. Seems to be some pretty basic card reader lock. The door does seem to have a keyhole, so I'll crack that if I really have to. Kinda weird they have both. Speaking of odd, I don't see cameras anywhere. When I scouted this place, this seemed pretty well off. Might even go to say upscale, where caters exclusively to the wealthy. Surely they could have afforded at least one camera to watch the back door. Where the business is cutting corners to pocket some extra cash, but this is just reckless. Oh well, their loss, I guess. Why are you complaining? It's your... It looks like a... Get out of here. Let's see if Let's see if we get to do this the old-fashioned way. The easy way. Do have to do it the old-fashioned way. It all begins with this. It may appear to be a typical driver's license in anything. It's anything but, however. It is as described by the hacker from Arizona I stole it from. A skeleton key. Science is beyond me, but it's worked as advertised so far. Damn convenient, too. Oh, there's the fucking factory password on it, don't it? Swipe once for the car to analyze and adapt to the lock. And twice to open. If your system sends out a fucking error message after one incorrect swipe, you need to fucking recalibrate, man. Faulty swipes are fairly common. Easy way it is. Pulling the door open, I enter the restaurant and shake off the rain and the cold. Oh, he actually has hair. Dude, they're gonna do experiments on you. Get out of here. That's better. Oh, let me turn up the music a bit. One thing I really appreciate about soaring businesses is that they always keep the heat on even when no one's home. How the fuck they afford that, I don't know. Now, on with some nocturnal skullduggery. Those double doors at the end of the hall must lead to the kitchen. There's just some lockers over here. Appear empty, however. And on this side, we have the staff bathroom. And what's this? A security room. Appears been pretty lacking so far. Let's see if they didn't just mislabel the utility closet. The security room door is unlocked and swings inward without resistance. Cozy. Oh my god, he's getting turned into a FNAF! Now let's see what kind of security this place actually has. I investigate the various screens and devices of the security room. It doesn't take me long to find several more oddities about this place. Firstly, there are only 3 cameras in the entire building, and they exclusively cover the dining area. One covers the front entrance and bar. The next one covers the second floor balcony seating that overhangs the entrance. The last has a wide view of the first floor dining area the balcony looks down on. Secondly, and more troubling, the cameras are on, but they aren't recording. I briefly consider the strangeness of the situation. Even through the blurry black and white cameras, the opulence of the dining area is undeniable. It is impossible that this place could not afford better security than this, unless the owner is beyond inept. Well, that's damn peculiar. Actually, that's really damn peculiar. But no one is here, and none of the cameras are recording. Even as this place is a bit oddly run, I am in no danger of being caught. Might as well give this place a once-over. Maybe my luck will hold, and there's a lockbox or a safe somewhere around here. After unplugging a few key wires from the recorder, just to be sure. Wait, no, let's just stick to a bit faster, only when he's muttering to himself like he's a fucking detective. After unplugging a few key wires from the recorder, just to be sure, I begin searching the back rooms. If a safe is kept anywhere, it'll be in an office. And cut to a jail cell. If not, I'll just have to raid the bar and call the night a wash. Most of the rooms down here are what you would expect from a restaurant. Kitchen, dry storage, freezer. The actual utility closet. There's also a staircase to the second floor. Moving into the darkened step reveals another hallway. This one has at least one window to the far that lets see a bit of light from the street. Also illuminates a number of doors to choose from. Oh, come on, man. You can't give me choices. I'm here to enjoy the show. Oh, shit. Oh, I thought we had a problem there for a minute. One moment. Something's going awry. Well, you know what they say, Luigi. If we're gonna get in trouble, we're just gonna run right into it. Checking the mystery door reveals a causeway that leads to the balcony seating on the far side of the restaurant. The current gloom gives the dining area a cave-like appearance. Also making it difficult to see much of anything. With little I can make out, it does seem as swanky as I thought it looked from the street windows. Must be quite the experience to dine in here with the lights on. Anyway, back to business. What happens if I do it again? Oh, come on, man. Oh, come on, man. You can't do this to me, man. Hmm. Okay. Well, let's go to the bathroom. One of the top rules for being a thief. Go before the job or after the job. Never during. Leave so much evidence behind. Might as well go check to see if they hide some. They'll hide the drugs! Investigate the bathroom at the end of the hall. Nothing of value, unless one would count a quadruple plies. Guess this place's money is going towards something useful after all. Conference room 2. Door number 2. The door swings inward. Dim light from the hall fills the room enough for me to make out some details. Just expensive-looking chairs and tables, but it's otherwise completely empty for anything worthwhile. Yeah, they sure seem unbothered. Like I'm sorry to tell you, buddy, this place is a front. I can just tell you right now, this place is a fucking front. I need that quadruple ply. Get out of here. Regardless, nothing valuable here. Door number 1. The door swings open, soundlessly, dimly says there's anything in its contents. Oh, let's check behind the toilets at the courthouse for bribe money. Some chairs. Oh, look, we got a room. Nice little conference table. On the far side of the room is an old safe set into the wall. There you are. It didn't take as long to find you as I thought. Maybe I could poke around a bit more just to be thorough. Not like the safe is going anywhere. Better get this over with. It's time to get what I came for. Enter the room, pulling out the empty duffel bag I kept rolled up inside my jacket. Oh, damn, man, we got so many sprites for this! After I get the cloth duffel unfurled, I head to the safe and start cracking. Do you really need that much? All safe appears to be of the classic variety. Man, I love how his face is constantly shrouded in darkness. It's so dumb. Good old-fashioned kind made of thick, heavy metal with your typical dial lock. After I perform my inspection, it becomes clear that the thing isn't classic. It's practically vintage. Wait, this thing is practically vintage. Not old enough to be rusting to pieces, but still. At least better than a cheap department store one. There's at least someone here that cares about security. Not that any of this will do him any good. This thing is out of date by at least half a century. Basic single lock mechanism with no soundproofing. A guy with one half good ear could crack this open, given enough time. So the process of clicking the dial this way and that, listen to the telltale sound of the notes hitting upon the right number. Minutes tick by as I find the combination until, at last... Splendid. As I sit there staring at the opposite and thoughts crosses my mind. What if it's because it's empty? Yeah. First like this probably keeps all of its money in the bank. The safe and entirely ceremonial. Well, they have to hold on to, like, the money they receive. To some extent. They're not going to drop that off at the bank every single day, buddy. I still don't know what the hell this fucking thing is about, by the way. Just apparently robbing a building. Difficult that I think of this now. Time to find out. I'm a couple $1,000 rich for this mess of waste of time. This is the safe that came with the building. Whoa. I take a sharp inhale of air as I behold the veritable fortune before me. For several moments, I'm too stunned to think. This can't be right. No one keeps this kind of money just laying around. Unless they're doing a drug deal because it's a fucking front! Dude's robbing Mo is about to get smacked. So poorly protected. No cameras, no alarms, no guards, not even a modern safe. Did I stumble across some kind of prank? I reach out to intercept some of the stacks of cash contained within. Money seems real enough. There's millions of dollars here. I can't believe it. It's insane, but just too good to pass up. Dude, you take one stack. When you find this, someone is going to come looking for it. And they're not going to be the polite kind. Dude! With no area waste of movement, I begin to open my duffel bag and begin to transfer money within it. Into it. Takes you a minute, but soon. Dude! Might as well some more money than I've ever seen in one place. How are you even going to deposit this anywhere, man? You're just going to walk around with a few $1 billion in your back pocket? I take a moment to appreciate the haul, and spend a fleeting few seconds pondering what to do with it. Millions of dollars. Millions and billions and billions and billions of stars. I never expected to actually be able to retire. I suppose I should travel north, get to Canada. Easy enough to disappear up there. And it is not, shall we say, suffused with others of my chosen profession, is right? The unmistakable flick of a light switch behind me. I freeze for. It takes half a second for my brain to comprehend I'm still in darkness. I spin in place and see a light coming from under the door. Oh, hell. I keep my nerves enough to silently close the safe and gracefully hide under the table. There he goes. He gets his payday, too. No, he gets his payday 3. I briefly considered the possibility that the lights could be on a timer, but that brief hope dies quickly as I listen. Voices. Seems the easy ride is over. Shit. But the sound of things they're setting up a dinner. Doesn't look like a small group either. I sit there to try to think of a way out of this mess. My focus zeroes in on the sound of approaching footsteps. I hope my hiding spot is adequate enough as if they decide to check the money. But if in case it's not. Oh no! My hand slips into my jacket and I carefully extracts what I fall back on in case of emergencies. I'm a preferred option, but I don't have a choice. Jesus Christ! Man's packing heat! If things get violent, should even things out. As I lower the magnum towards the door, the voices attached to the footsteps become clear. The voices attached to the footsteps becomes clear. No, it's the voice that becomes clear. Or the voices become clear, buddy.
Why'd it have to be cold in? Got that smell. This is what you would smell like.
Some stories of a damn good sense of smell. Guess the rain didn't wash me out of scent to hide it. Unfortunate. Strange that guy would ask that, though. It's a 44 Auto Mag, one of the shittiest guns ever. Well, you know, he's a criminal. He might as well go broke. Has he never met anyone? Hey, I don't stink. That's up as the steps grow closer.
Yeah.
Something I could have left not knowing. This is your first time at one of the boss's parties?
It is.
Oh shit, they eat people? No, we're just the guards, right? We don't actually, partake. Oh my god, that's reserved for the boss. We just cleared up after. Oh, they do eat humans. Oh shit. Dude, you're about to get fucking owned. God damn it, why didn't you make me play Vor? God. Fucking figures the senator will be like, hey, wanna play some Vor? Ah! Listen, man, I don't know how to feel about this. Yay, Vor, Sage. Get out of here, Sage! Fairchild and guards reach for the door and they pass it by. I overhear the door to the next room open as they continue their chat. Come on, no one ever uses this room. Stay out of the boss's way until he's done downstairs. Fine by me. Hey, you think his guests want to know what he's got cooking for them? Only Deadra does for sure. The rest, nah. I don't think so. Dude, what the fuck? After that, the door closes and their voices become obscured by the wall. A few breathless seconds pass before I untense. A dozen more seconds later, and presumably safe... I'm assuming safety. I holster my weapon and emerge from my hiding spot. I wonder if me looking around cost me the time, because this motherfucker's just taking his time. I don't quite know what they were talking about, but it seems I made quite the error. I need to find a way out of here, or a place to hide until these people clear out again. Those two seem to have taken the more ideal hiding spot, so I need to find somewhere else. Can't stay here, especially with the money. Can't go to the bathroom, I may use it. Sounds like the kitchen is occupied by their boss, and I definitely want to avoid him. I recall seeing some bathrooms in the balcony seating area through the cameras, though. Perhaps I can hide out there in one of the stalls until the place is empty again. Oh, whoops. I made some mistakes. Boo, 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 boo. Where's the spooky music we had a minute ago? The cool like little sneaky sneak. I can also use the vantage point to see what I'm dealing with and get an idea of how many people I'm gonna have to avoid. Presuming there aren't people using the balcony already. I move to the door and listen for any sign of movement. Hearing none, I open it as quietly as possible and step into the now lit hallway. Sun illumination stings my eyes as the light washes over me. Damn! Dude, it looks like shit now. Suddenly I can see all your bad line art. I don't have time to wait for my eyes to adjust. I gotta make my way to the door leading to the balcony causeway. Come on, some Sly Cooper at least. Hell yeah. With the causeway in the balcony area appear clear people, so I ease my way through the door. As I take my first steps, I do detect a certain smell. It smells familiar, but I can't quite identify it. However, for some reason, it makes a pit form in my stomach. Dude, what the fuck are we doing playing 4? Just the stress of getting blindsided by a surprise. Oh, wait. Just the stress of getting blindsided by a surprise New Year's dinner is all. This isn't Shadow Raid Legends. No, it isn't. Hey! You wouldn't say no if a pack of buff werewolves suddenly decided to nom you. There'd be. Just focus on not getting caught. Dude, are we about to go fucking Shadow Warrior? Listen, I like Shadow Warrior. I like the reboot. It's great. But I don't know if I want to play that right now. Creeping along the causeway, I hear the murmurs of a small crowd. I ignore them and try to focus on making as little noise as possible. Which, thanks to the nice carpet and chatter from below, made rather easy. Eventually make it to the balcony. Peering around the corner, I spot the camera that overlooks the balcony. It's right above the small aisle that leads to the bathrooms. Cameras weren't recording, but I didn't bother turning them off either. Someone could be watching them right now. The dash of the toilets would be too obvious for anyone to ignore. However, I do spot a blind spot, a short wall that separates the raised section. Wall's high enough to hide from the camera, and the tables will prevent me from being seen from the stairs. Additionally, the dive to there is shorter than the run to the bathrooms, meaning a smaller chance to be spotted. I take a quick breath, readying myself, make a crouch dash from the small wall. Okay, should be safe enough here. Just have to stay out of sight for a couple of hours and step out back once there's an opening. Presuming no one thinks to check the safe that had millions of dollars in it during the party. Until then, I may as well be flying the wall listening to whoever it is I robbed. Also wonder what they're eating. I swear I smelled it before, but all I ever remember eating is road food. I hide there playing what the smell is as minutes drag on. I'll also overhear some of the louder voices from the floor below. Ooh, the little music's back.
How long is this gonna take anyway? I was actually trying to enjoy my New Year's after that last job.
No, I feel the same. It's not like our enigmatic leader to call us in for a face-to-face meeting. Hey, enigmatic.
Oh wait, these are different colors. I mean, I was gonna bother if they're gonna be this subtle with the colors. While we're on the street trying to meet his demands, what's he doing? This is the first I've seen of him all year. It's December, man. What do you know about it? You're his kid. He actually tell you anything, or do you just work the phone for him? A female was. Just that he wanted to congratulate personally for how he handled things in Skin Row. I heard of Skin Row. It's where the town dumps most of the lower-income human citizens. I also heard that a pro-human gang has embedded itself in there. It was actually where I was planning on hiding out during my stay in the city. Figured I could pay the gang for protection while I do my business. Have a nice little ghetto getaway during my time in Volcaldera. I guess I won't have to now. Assuming I get away with all this cash, that is. Wonder what happened. Must have been bad going by how they sound. Of course. Figures that such a travesty is actually what gets his attention. I lost a lot of money because of what went down there, you know. I'd like to have some assurances that your father has a plan to make it all back. Like there's clearly like a brownish color and a greenish color, but from a distance, I don't notice that stuff as well. You know, I need a good splotch of it. I had set aside some capital for that purpose, but my father has determined that it will be put towards his next project instead. That sounds ominous. I might have to risk a look just to see who these people are. I could be lucky and they're just scary-sounding real estate agents. Deciding it was finally time to see who I robbed, I dashed my way back across the causeway. Once I'm in a nice little nook where the camera can't see me peer over the railing, and down to the gathered assembly. Damn! Look at this fucking motherfucking villain in the bottom. Those are not real estate agents. Those are mobsters. Shit. Leering!
Oh, great. We do his dirty work, and this is how he repays us.
By throwing us a banquet. How quaint.
I didn't even know he could cook. Yeah, me neither.
If we are being bought off with food, I'd at least love to know what it is that I'm eating. It doesn't smell altogether unpleasant.
It does smell a bit off, though.
I'm sorry. My father insisted that it would be a surprise. Conversation's a bit of a lull at that point. It's the goons! Take the opportunity to look. Oh, there he is! He's up there! Take a look around at just what I heard. Scanning the room, it seems to be a rather small gathering. On one table, 4 important-looking saurians. For another 4 guards standing and milling about the dining area, all openly armed. Counting the pair, avoiding everyone else in conference room 2, and the mysterious boss that puts 5 bigwigs and 6 guards in the premises. Should have gone out that window in the hallway. Wonder if there's still time. I'm only 2 stories up, I'd probably survive. Landing on the concrete might break some bones, but that's better than a bunch of mobsters willing to steal their money. And if I get away, I have a bag of millions of dollars. I can afford the hospital trip. Probably. Man, $1 million won't even pay for a fucking cast these days. What is wrong with you? Jesus. I will say, I'm not a big fan of this so far. This is not my preferred kind of narrative to read, okay? Before I could truly weigh my options, I gotta have the kitchen door's finally open. Deep in the back of my mind, a primal flight instinct he suddenly springs to alarm, as out of the kitchen steps the biggest saurian I'd ever seen. These aren't your usual minions, these are rank A mooks! The kinds you see at the dark alleyway smoking, let alone heard about, but I have heard of them. Damn! Dude, where the fuck were these designs in Snook Game? I mean, they're not really relevant for a high school dating game, but look at this motherfucker. It's Alfonsi! A gigantic Allosaurus gangster, known for a long and sordid career of criminality. A rise to infamy assisted by being a genetic throwback to an age when dinosaurs ruled the earth. How the fuck does that help you in crime? It just makes you a bigger target. The Grim Reaper of the West Coast, as some tabloids call him. Like, yes, it makes him intimidating, but that's not how you run a business. The closer I got to Dinophoria, the more prevalent and audacious the rumors became. They all had one common theme. If you crossed them, you're dead. Meanwhile, big husband. Ugh. No taste. No taste. He walks around in a tan suit. You'd still date him. Ugh. Looking at his sheer size, it was easy to understand how the police hadn't stopped him yet. Looks like he could tear out whatever jail they put him in. How the fuck didn't he just die from all the bullets they pump into him? Like, the reason the cops don't bother him is because he pays them off. That's how mobsters work. They don't work by actually physically threatening the cops like that. Because that never works. Do you not understand how guns work? Not just tear through half the city worth of cops by himself. Dude! Do you not know what an anti-material rifle does to a person? I don't care how big he is. Probably costs less than the fucking tailor indeed. Anyway... Like, I get what you're trying to say. He's big, he's intimidating, but the Kingpin in fucking Spider-Man isn't big. He's big so that he can fight Spider-Man. But from a mechanical point of view, his power is that he can run a fucking mob, right? Which is unrelated to the fact that he's big. That's a bonus. That's a plus. That's a little touch on top. The massive dinosaur came out carrying a large covered dish, which he then placed on the table. This thing has a name. Oh, let me see what it's called again. It's called a cloche. I think it's called a cloche. It's French.
Cloche.
A cloche. Man, that tailor makes big bucks purely on how much material goes into this. I need 15,000 square yards of your finest silk. And that's for the tie. The massive dino came, okay, a cloche. Well, where there was an air of bravado had made their bickering... Oh, wait. Where was once an air of bravado had made their bickering and complaints come easy, now it seemed like his guests were all too afraid to so much as shift in their seats, except for the woman. While the other three's eyes were transfixed on the looming form of their boss, her eyes were locked on the covered platter. And her stare was filled with as much dread as the rest, if not more. After the shock of his appearance wore off, a low rumbling tone emerged from the throat of the scaly colossus, like a mix between a hiss and a growl of distant thunder.
Gentlemen, I bid you welcome. I trust the advised on our part as hostess to make you all comfortable.
The trio of terrified lieutenants quickly nodded in agreement, all of them thoroughly terrified. Yeah, you just said that, man. All of them thoroughly spooked of the beast that had hovered over them.
I am glad to hear that. Then, before we feast, let me begin with some words of congratulation.
Sure, he wants to eat me, but high-value men always come with the downside. Hell, it's not even a downside if I'm into it. Dude!
Deirdre and her management of Little Trudon has finally borne fruit and provided us with a great reserve of wealth. She is to be commended for being able to take that slum and transform it into a charming little marketplace it is today.
If the Allosaurus woman was pleased with her father's compliment, she didn't show it. Neither did the others, for that matter.
But as pleased as I am with her performance, you three have outdone yourself in cleansing Skin Row of the human gangs that have opposed us. Now the humans that remains are ours to prey upon as we wish, to inevitably exterminate.
Dude, you go into City Hall if you want to get rid of people. You can't commit a genocide if you're not in charge of the concentration camps. The tone of the dinner was already grim, but that last word caused the temperature to drop. Everyone, including the guards, appeared uneasy as it reverberated throughout the room. Deirdre especially, as she fails to suppress the wincing movement. She hears it. Alfonso takes note of this.
It disappoints me to see that my trusted lieutenant shows such hesitation. I have even heard that some of you have expressed displeasure in performing your duties, that you feel that my orders are too aggressive. I must confess that this has caused me to question your resolve, even some of your loyalties.
That last line caused the three men to animate fully in their seats. They all look like they want to say otherwise, but the fear prevents them from speaking. Deirdre does not react as the others do. She looks like someone who knows that something terrible is about to happen and can do nothing to stop it.
However, I think I know of a way you can all prove yourselves to me, and it is to partake in a custom from the old country. All you must do is share a meal with me, while I remind you, all of you, that we are in the business of predators and prey. It is eat.
The Allosaurus places a great claw to the handle of the cloche, covering the platter.
Or be eaten.
Get out of here, Flowey, you fucking nerd!
Do forgive me if it is not cooked quite right. I often prefer this dish raw.
I asked for medium rare!
And with a gratuitously slow motion reveal what lay beneath. They are eating people! The horrific form of what was once a human lay bound and cooked for all to see. The roasted body of whoever this unfortunate person was, had been bent in such a way as to make it more compact, like some ghoulish parody of a turkey. Some reactions were more subdued than others. I like how even the shark is like, oh. The woman, Deirdre, had known this was coming based on what I overheard earlier. Knowing about this grotesque revelation did a little good judging from the revulsion of her face. So those two guys probably cooked the meal, and they were like, ew, dude, fine. She seemed unable to even look at it. Meanwhile, Fancy Pants and Leery Guy reeled back in shock. They seemed more surprised than sickened, however. The shark, the most chilling of the lot. What are they again? And Carnotaurus didn't so much as twitch his tail. I made an effort to keep my reaction quiet, if anything else, but it was difficult during what came next. Alfonsi Dude, we need the music a bit louder than this. Like, it's really quiet. Alphonse began to snap off limbs from his victim and place them, one by one, onto the plates of his guests. As he did so, he continued his speech as he began to circle the table.
I offer you all a choice. You may choose to be a predator and help me run this city, where we will all feast upon its wealth and its people as we desire. Or you may choose to be prey and attempt to run for the exit before I rip you apart. Now, eat.
The shark didn't hesitate to obey. He ate his portion, as if it were any other kind of food, while the Leo and the watched on. They exchanged a glance before the Fancy Pants man reached for his morsel and took a bite. The Leopard only needed one last fearful glance towards Alfonsi to follow suit, which left Deirdre as the last. She made no move towards touching the limb placed in front of her. Why is she being judged again? Like, what did she do? I don't say what his big problem is with his daughter. She's implied to be his daughter, right? She's his kid, right? She merely looked upon the chart appendix with resigned horror. Alfonsi slower lumbered around behind her and leaned in. Damn!
Why, Deirdre? It seems you are not eating. I am aware that you do not share my particular palate when it comes to food. But I must remind you that this is not about whatever or not you like the taste.
Alfonso slowly raised one of his massive claws and wrapped his fingers threateningly around her neck. How am I supposed to swallow like this?
Your behavior as of late has left me doubting your place as my heir. I need to know I can rely on you. So, eat.
For a long moment, the Allosaurus woman didn't move. But as her father's mouth slowly opened to reveal his teeth, her hands reach out for a portion of human. Hesitantly, she brings it to her mouth and she gives in and partakes like the rest. She takes a few meager bites, but even from where I am, I can see her gulp down the cooked flesh. Satisfied hiss escaped from her father's mouth, despite her obviously only nibbling the appendage. Alfonso removes his massive paw from her neck and returns to the head of the table. Dude, you're gonna get pry on this issue. Fucking clueless fools. Once there, he makes a bellowing declaration.
I congratulate all of you for your wise decisions. This concludes our meeting. Return to your homes always first for me, or Deirdre, your next steps.
Alfonso reaches out with a claw and snatches up whatever remains of the human meal and made it for the front. Damn it, he got the organ meat! He got the good shit!
Deirdre, you will remain here to clean up. The rest of you may enjoy the remainder of your evenings.
And with that, he departs while he devours the remains with one massive bite. Also, another reason why being huge is really kind of bad when you're a criminal. How the fuck does he lay low? It takes nothing to find this man. The other monsters rise from their seats and depart after him without much fanfare. They take the guards and the dining area with them as they go, which leaves Deirdre alone at the table with scraps of human in various states of consumption. Yeah, you're fucked, Win. I know that I keep giving him shit for being a big criminal warlord, but it makes it fantastically easy to crush a human. Well, shit! Figure they're cannibals as well as monsters. At least the horror show's over.
I need to stay out of sight and slip out of here.
Which might be now, considering there's only 3 of them left on my count. Just Deirdre and the 2 in the conference room, presumably. Just have to work my back down the stairs. Before I'm going to shimmy my way towards the door that would bring back to our footsteps behind me. Click of heels coming up the main stairs that connected the balcony to the dining floor. I had barely enough time to dive around the corner and avoid getting spotted. Risking a glance as I spot the Allosaur woman, Deirdre, I rush into the bathroom. Seconds later, I heard retching sounds. It seems she's chosen to vomit out her previous meal. She knows about prions! Seeing an opportunity to slip out and begin to move, only to see the causeway door open and someone makes their way through. I again scurry towards cover. I have to fling myself past the table onto the far side of the booth separator to do it, though. Puts me a decent distance away from either exit. Can the interloper walk away on the balcony? At size, he gets comfortable against the railing.
That was too close. Seems he's waiting for the lady. Great. Guess I'll have to get comfortable here for a bit. Not a pleasant wait.
The anxiety brought about by being mere feet away from someone who I just stole from is not exactly fun. And the sound of the Allosaurus woman vomiting doesn't make it go. What's to make the wait go any faster, eh? Huh? Eventually, the retching sounds stop, heralded by the flushing of a toilet. She emerges.
How you holding up, ma'am?
I'm sick. If all the father's men left.
Yeah, we're in the clear, just you and me and Joey.
Air let out a heavy breath. I don't know how much more of this I can take.
And the others said anything about the, dinner? Afterwards, I mean?
No, they didn't say a damn thing. They just got up and left like they were late to some appointment. Didn't even spare a moment to ask how an insane monster just had us eat a person. He's always been a monster, but now it's like you're digressing into an animal. I wonder what is bothering him. Does he have, like, cancer? Is he worried about the end of his life? Does he want to leave a legacy? Is he becoming impatient? Is he one of those people who just got a taste and can't get enough? He needs to die, Tony.
You're preaching to the choir, ma'am, but you've been trying to drum up support from others for a while. If they didn't change their minds, then what the hell can we do?
I don't know. They all talk about how much they want to be in charge, but they're all too terrified of my father to do anything but grovel. The most they do is blame me for their problems. Even if he was out of the picture, they'd fight over who would get his throne. Not that any of them could run this organization anyway. None of them have turned a profit from their territories. The best they can do is break even. I need to be the one to lead us.
Hey, you got my vote.
I appreciate it.
Issue remains, though, your dad is a terrifying monster. It'd be hard to convince anyone that it's even possible to kill someone like him. Like, I'm pretty sure we shot him dead, blew up his brains, threw him in a vat of acid, but we missed the head and the hair grew into a whole new him. I'm pretty sure there's 2 of him around, but I don't know where the other one went.
A half laugh, a half hiss whistles through her teeth. Father is well on his way to finding out.
We all will if he goes forward with this plan. Do you know what it is? No, man, I'm just a driver. Goddamn, lady. I don't get paid enough to hide the cannibal. I make a point to try not to listen when the higher-ups are talking.
He wants to drive the humans out of Volcaldera Bluffs entirely.
I keep telling him, if you want to do that, you gotta start a political party. You need the cops on your side. Because the cops, you know, they can call in the army. That's not how the cops work, Tony. The cops don't call the army, that's the governor. I thought he could only call in the, the state guys.
You mean the National Guard?
Yeah, those losers. God damn it, Tony.
Purge them. Launch an all-out race war, and as far as he's concerned, the bloodier the better.
Rip the Jesus on his cross of stone.
No amount of bribes, DAs, or terrified mayors will be able to ignore that. He'll get the feds, even the National Guard, called unless they want them dead or in jail.
And that's assuming they don't just nuke us from orbit. You do know they nuked Raccoon City, right? And that was because a zombie was there. I think our dad is like a G-monster level of problems. Actually, I should probably show the art Tacoma. He likes that kind of stuff. Hold on. He loves those things.
Alfonso does not appear to have, like, actual pictures in the thing. I'm trying to avoid everything and focus on what I'm looking for. Oh, there's a bunch of autism bingos? What? We'll look at those later. BG. I think Scenes has it? Yeah, Alfonso. Okay, they're at the beginning, so I can just show them to Como. There. Como likes that stuff. Man, there's a lot of scenes. Jesus, this is going to be a long one. Is my chat frozen or something? Am I frozen? That'd be bad. So I need to bring the lieutenants in line in order to stage a coup, all without alerting my father, who will kill us all if he finds out we're plotting against him.
Oh, that's a pretty tall order.
That it is. But first things first. Let's get this mess cleaned up and that poor bastard remain disposed of. We are unfortunately open tomorrow. I hear footsteps leaving and ascending the nearby stairs. Minutes wait as I wait and listen. Nothing. Seems I'm in the clear. Good grief! Those stepped into quite a powder keg. As if the man-eating mobsters... That should be a hyphen. If the man-eating mobsters weren't enough of a sign of that. Unfortunately, it does seem... Unfortunately, it does seem that now is the right time for me to get the hell out of here. Just gotta sneak my way out the back alley. I'm home free. Leave the city and the all of Sandy far behind me. Just gotta work my way back across the causeway, scuttle through the kitchen, and slip back in the way I came. Who the hell are you?
Were you that fucking stupid? Did you not count footsteps, you idiot?
Ah.
My God! You fool!
Oh my God, you're such a fucking clown! I'm a master thief. I'm Win. I'm so smart. I'm done with this dude. I'm done with this dude. Okay? I'm fucking done with this dude. Do you understand how done I am with this dude? This dude and I done. No further conversations. No further questions. I'm gonna go look at pictures of pretty ladies to try and distract myself from the horrible situation this man found himself in. What a dingus. What a Dorcas. What a half-baked cheese banana. Masterfully blew it all. Seems only one of them walked away. And here I thought I was the only one who sits around in absolute silence for minutes at a time. What are you doing here? Like a surprised cat, I sprang backwards into the railing.
Oh, you fucking idiot! And thanks to the extra weight of the duffel bag.
What an acrobat. I tip over the edge, time slows down. I'm able to spin around as I tumble over the apparently too short barrier. Man, that's just an OSHA violation. Although I am still facing the ground to see that the table is directly below me. That's good. There's no way I can know the table will actually do anything to break my fall over. That's bad. Maybe I'll use the duffel bag full of money to cushion me to soften the blow. That's good. I'm about to impact the table. That's bad. If it hurts, that means I'm still alive. That's good. Table held up rather well to a man and a big duffel bag full of money falling on it. Still collapsed into a heap, but a few extra feet of it absorbed might have saved my life. Although still suffering from the impact, the fear of being caught gets my heart pumping. Seems like in mere moments, adrenaline flows through me. With the pain being dulled for the time being, I passively crawl to my feet and spend half a second scanning the room. This is the toilet for the men and the women, and this is the toilet for the one guy who needs it. There is one man in the entire fucking country that can use this toilet. It's that big. Congratulations. Major fracture detected. The woman looks down at me from above, quite stunned. One of her guards, Tony perhaps, was heading to the kitchen with a handful of dishes. By the end of the latter half of this second, I'm already limping my way towards the front. I can't really comprehend how fast I'm really going, but it doesn't feel slow. All the mans are moving, and I will have to do. I do detect shouting behind me, but I don't waste any time trying to understand it. I want to push my way out the front doors. Does he bump into fucking Alfonsi? Escaping into the rain-soaked streets of Little Trudon. There's no time to hotwire and steal a car, so I have to rely on public... I determine that it is my lucky day as I spot a taxi idling across the street. I spur myself towards it as I feel the adrenaline starting to ebb away in the cold rain. Once again, I count my blessings as I reach the yellow cab. I fling the door open and dive in, slamming it shut behind me. The driver jolts in surprise. He was apparently in the middle of a call. Oh, shit.
Drive.
Yeah, honey, surprise customer. Gotta go love ya.
Starting to get groggy. Drive it, please.
Sheesh, buddy. You look like you had a hell of a party. I like to think of myself as a pretty tolerant guy, but I don't like the look of you.
Time was of the essence. I wasn't particularly good at haggling. So, I made a very generous opening offer. Reaching the duffel bag, I extracted one of the wads of cash, tossed at the driver. Now, is this man smart enough to realize you should never take money from someone who has a duffel bag full of it? Oh, there he is in the background. He's got a little blood thing.
But I do like the look of your money.
Ah! I like how the shading up here changes. That's just weird. That's just like you didn't up it. That seemed to have worked.
You got a destination in mind? A hospital trip, maybe?
No hospital. Drive. Far. Fast. Safe.
Well, shoot yourself, pal, but I judge you actually the people who die, my kid.
Even with the increasingly fading states, it's hard not to notice the cab explode into motion.
Seriously, buddy, I don't know what your deal is. And honestly, I don't want to know. Once you're out of this cab, I ain't letting you back in. I don't need whatever mess you are blowing my way. I never saw you, and you never saw me. Sound fair?
Sounds fair.
I can't believe I fucking died. As adrenaline receded, it was mere moments before I fell into total unconsciousness. An indeterminate amount of time later, first sensation that informed me I'm alive is a dull ache, after which I become aware of other things. Despite the pain, returned to consciousness, it didn't feel too bad. I actually felt a bit like I was floating. Could also hear something. After a bit of time, I determined there were voices, but I couldn't comprehend what they were saying. My barely alive mind was able to come to a few conclusions. I'm alive, obviously. I'm not alone. And I don't seem to be in danger, at least in the immediate time scale. Before I could attempt to force myself fully awake, I was hit by a wave of exhaustion. The cognitive effort to try to understand those 3 points was all the energy in my body had wished to devote to thinking. It was also threatened with an odd sensation of actually feeling myself drift back to sleep. When I next surfaced from a state of awareness, things were more quiet. However, the pain was no longer dull. The pain was no longer a dull ache spread around my body. It felt sharper, much more defined. My head was throbbing. It hurt to breathe. My legs felt stiff. I was also aware of things that were in contact with my body. I could tell that I was laying down on something that was adequately soft. A bit coarse, though. It was quite a juxtaposition from before, where I was barely aware of anything. Falls asleep in a cab, saying as far as you can. Then he wakes up. He's in a carriage with prisoners. God damn it! My senses seem to have been set into overdrive. That was part of the teething process. My body's probably doing its version of a systems check, which means that I'll just be able to do a check on my own. Although it required more focus than I was expecting as I would open my eyes. It's hard to tell in the dark. It's also, also because it hurts to even roll my head from side to side. It looks like some kind of lounge, cheap one by the look of the ceiling tiles, and the fact that I'm set up on a couch and not a bed. Not a hospital, not a police station. Someone must have seemed to tuck me in nice and tight with a heavy blanket like a cocoon. So this isn't the home of mops trying to torture me alive for later either, probably. Guess that cab driver came through. No sign of the money, though. Troubling as that is, I'm not in the condition to worry about that at the moment. We need to worry about is just how bad I got hurt from that fall. Let's just start with the basics. Start with fingers and arms. 6 a second, but tensing the desired muscle revealed that my arms have been placed across my stomach. Having confirmed that he's filled, I'm trying to wiggle my fingers and shift my arms. Fingers go well. All digits are there. Shifting the arms was less effective. They're stiff as a board. Refuse to move without more energy than I can muster at the moment. Out the shoulders, knees and toes. Same tactics. Okay. Bad idea. Joints are not ready for that. Ribs don't like it much either. How much did he fall down? Like a floor or two? That can't be that bad, right? Pain aside, although he did trip down awkwardly, so it's not a controlled fall. Pain aside, the attempted movement did reveal extra details. My Most evident is that whoever stripped me down to my t-shirt and underwear. Beneath the shirt, I could feel constricted tightness of bandages around the parts of my body that hurt the most. Someone with medical knowledge but taking care of me. I like Wynn's analytical insight. This man's... I like a character that's actually like, yeah, there's some conclusions here you can make. Like, sure, you can have your reader do that by having the character do it, shows that they're smart. If you want them to look smart, you just have them point shit out that the reader could figure out. Or someone who's just very good with first aid. Maybe the taxi man to a private doctor, seems the type. But also, it means that the person taking care of me has everything I own, gun, card, and thieving tools. Everything that would identify me as anyone, so someone, everything that would identify me as a sensible person, hold on. Everything that would identify me as someone, a sensible person, would turn over to the police, which makes it odd that they haven't. As I ponder the identity of my caretaker, I could feel my body's energy once again sapping away. Perhaps it is worth looking up and taking a look around. I don't know, gang. I must confess, I'm not really interested in the story all that much. I'm not really one for thrillers. My life is full of anxiety as is. I'm just sorry, man. I'm just sorry, man. I think the best move is to probably let the get up, though. We're not in a condition to try anything. The man is still out. I decide that at this point, it's just not worth it. What would I even do if I find someone or my things? It's better just to be patient and get some rest. You gotta have all that. You're gonna need that energy when you need it, man. The extra weight means a faster fall. Honestly, I never think of money as a heavy thing because I've never actually held a wad of cash. But it is made out of wood, effectively. You know, it's paper. In some cases, plastic. So it is fairly heavy. Especially since it's dense sheets that tends to be constricted together. But like in my mind, right, money is like a light thing. Like I only ever handle like a couple of bills at a time, so. My eyes close down the cord and the wave of exhaustion hits me. Well, like a man hitting a table after jumping off. Okay, let's actually go back and see what happens if we try to get vertical. I need to know. My man's effort, he rolls onto his side, who I'm sharp intake dealing with. And he just fucking. Yeah, okay, so he basically fucking gets conked out. So once I fall into a deep, dreamless sleep, because no one of these fucking ficks ever dreams, and if it is a dream, it's going to be this massive fucking vision quest of things, and it's so fucking lame! Although it only feels like moments, the next thing I'm aware of is that the light is on, followed instantly by the feeling of something cold and wet touching one of the sore spots on my side. It's more than enough to jolt me awake. It's been quite some time since I've been in a well-lit room. The lounge's lights were nothing special, but to me they may as well be spotlights. Tears form as light stings my exposed retinas, adding a gossamer blur to everything. Holy shit, it's a person who knows the word gossamer! Damn, dude! He knows the good words. I think I've often seen gossamers referred to like butterfly wings? Let's actually see what they mean. Extremely light, delicate, or sheer. Referring to fine spider silk, used by spiderlings for ballooning or kiting. Well, hell yeah, baby! That's fucking sick. Count me in. For once, an MC should dream of Sage roaring them. Get out of here! Tears form as the light... Okay. And eventually my eyes were able to adjust. Who the hell is this? As my vision clears, I see a Parasar woman dabbing at a nasty bruise on my side with an ice-cold towel. For a few moments of observation revealed that her movements are well practiced. She never presses too hard when touching one of the purplish bruises with a frigid washcloth. Her administrations bring about very little discomfort. She seems to know what she's doing.
Must be the one who's been taking care of me, and she looks nice.
Dude!
Preferable to waking up face to face with Alphonse, or one of his minions at any rate.
She also looks like she hasn't gotten any sleep.
I don't recall my wounds being that severe.
Definitely not bad enough someone would need to work themselves into exhaustion. Still, though. She's a nurse. She probably gets worked to exhaustion despite the fact that hospital care costs $8 trillion. She sees like 2 cents. She has very kind features. Comforting. Just kiss already! She dabs a particularly sensitive spot that forces me to wits take it sharp. Take a breath. She draws her attention to my face. Oh, you're awake. Thank goodness. Red Samantha! Shut up. You were looking pretty beat up when Father Xander showed you to me. Father Xander? Am I in a church? I hate churches. I told Raptor Jesus to pay his fucking rent already. How are you feeling? Can you talk?
Honestly, I can't say for certain. Going by how I'm feeling, I think I can at the moment.
Been a very long time since I had a conversation with someone, though. Well, a taxi guy counts, I suppose? Anyone better answer instead of just staring.
It takes willpower, but able to summon up the energy to speak through the pain.
Yes. There. That wasn't hard.
Man, I really like the subtle expressions we're going for. Oh, you're finally awake. You were trying to cross the state border, right?
Wait, what?
Wonderful. That's a good sign. How do you feel? Is there any part of you that you can't feel? That's numb?
Everything hurts!
As odd as it may sound, that's actually good news. It'd be a much worse sign if you couldn't feel anything.
I suppose she's right about that.
I'm sorry I keep asking you these questions, but could you tell me if you remember your name?
Quite the question, that. Truth of the matter is, I actually don't. I better give her the one that's currently on my fake ID. If she gotta look at my things, that's probably the answer she's looking for. I'm Hwindo. Private.
You are not James Bond, motherfucker. I'm glad to meet you, Mr. Doe? What are you, fucking idiot? Dude. My name is Claudia. Claudia Grant. Yeah, I know you must have had a pretty bad headache from your concussion, but it's important in finding out how bad you're hurt.
Yeah, right. So she's the one who's taking care of me. Are you a nurse? What's with that look? I think she's almost ashamed.
I have the training required to help you. Don't worry. No one's going here is going to hurt you. You're in good hands. From what I've seen, you've been through the worst of it.
That's an odd reaction. Seems to be a sore spot for her. I guess it doesn't matter much anyway. She seems to know what she's doing. How bad was I hurt?
I don't know what hit you, but you had a pretty nasty bump on the head. Along with all the bruising all over the ribcage and your arms and legs, the swelling has gone down and feeling around. I don't think you cracked any bones or broke any. I'm actually rather amazed you're conscious at all in such a short time. But I guess it's true what they say. Humans are made of rubber. They can bounce back from anything.
I wouldn't say anything. The image of a charred human corpse being served as dinner to saurian moths has come to mind. But the description does beg the question. A short time?
You've been unconscious for about 3 days. Damn, dude! That's a lot of piss and shit you've been shoveling out of this man.
3 days? That's a long time to be no. I should see a doctor. She can't have been the only one here for all the time, could she? Yeah, get some information out of this Father Xantha she mentioned. Figure out where I am. 3 days? Where the hell am I?
You're at St. Sadler's.
St. Sadler?
Bayside Church. On, well, the bayside of Volcaldera Bluffs' beachfront. It's a small neighborhood in the north edge of the city. Father Xander is the priest here, and he's the one that found you. He has some medical training from his days in the army, so he's been helping me take care of you. Well, him and my friend Mimi.
The north side of Volcaldera Bluffs puts a good amount of distance between me and Little Truden. But not out of the reach of someone like Alfonsi. I guess that cab driver didn't want to leave city limits.
By the way, Father Xander told me he found you collapsed on the steps of the church. Do you remember how you got here?
Yeah, Lord Sadler. I was thinking about that. Probably not the best to tell the truth about that. You have a TBI. It will manifest later. Unexplained aggression that the police will kill you for, thus curing you. Damn. She hasn't brought up the fact that I found a big bag of money or a gun yet. She may not know about them if she wasn't the one who found me. Best keep it vague in case. But how to best do so? Wait, I've got it. I don't, She doesn't look convinced. It's okay. You've only just regained consciousness. I can't expect you to know everything right away. But don't worry, I'm sure we'll come back to you with some more rest. Whether she believes it or not, it doesn't seem like she's willing to press the issue. Though, now that she mentions getting some rest, this is the longest conversation I've had in some time. Man, my social need is fucking cratered. Years even. It has been exhausting. It looks like your eyes are starting to sag. Seems I wasn't hiding my tiredness very well. I'm finished up here, so I can leave you and go back to your sleep. Unless you have any further questions you'd like to ask. I don't think asking about the whereabouts of the duffel bag of cash is a wide option. Oh, I'm good. All right. Good night, Mr. Doe, and sleep tight. I'll come back to check up on you in a few hours. Say good night. Are we gentlemen? Listen, we're listen. May as well. It's a polite thing to do, after all. Good night, Miss Claudia. Simple justice or whatever, with a last smile that seems more sincere as my eyes close. I can't believe we fucking died. I'm left with an odd sense of safety as I drift away. I ran to consciousness with the sound of the door being opened and the lights being flicked on, let out a low grumble in reaction to suddenly being thrust into the waking world. The noise of this visitor does not sound like Claudia. Footsteps are more of a shuffle, and their breathing sounds more like an old man, complete with a pseudo-hum that the elderly tend to have. All this is followed by the sound of him fetching a chair and dragging closer to my head. Look at this burrito! Hold up! No, no. We have become a burrito! Yeah. Look at this motherfucker. This must be Father Zeph. I guess he's coming in to check on me. I wasn't expecting someone young, but he's ancient. Oh, by the way, I planted my eggs into your brain. Damn it, we already had 4. How many chapters can stop it? 1 per chapter! I have the dress ready for number 3! Also, for the longest, I thought those were his eyes, those are his eyebrows. They are his eyebrows. I wonder how he was able to get me into the church by himself. Unless the ankylosaur just looks a lot older. Yeah. He's probably here to ask questions. I suppose that means I should let him lead the conversation, right? Is he gonna talk? His eyes keep shifting. What the? You gotta be kidding me. The priest is asleep. Great. At least this gives you some time to think up some answers for any questions you might ask me when I wake up. If he wakes up. If he was the one that found me. On the steps, and the cab driver did not... hold up. Motherfucker is snoring. And the cab driver did not take the money with him. That means this old saurian carried me, the money, and all my things inside. There's no way that what I was carrying wasn't suspicious enough to call the cops. Sits down, falls asleep, dies. Man is a pro. Considering I'm not in the cell, he didn't do that, and considering I'm in the hospital bed, he didn't call an ambulance either. Did the cab driver talk to his priest and inform him of my no hospitals request? Do they know each other? Of all places to end up in Volcaldera, a church with people trained in first aid that doesn't just hand people over to police or hospitals suggests so. Maybe they're all in cahoots as some kind of gang in opposition to Alfonsi. What's this? Holy... You know, the art's been fine so far, but this lady takes the cake. Although I do like sweater dresses. Damn, what's going on here? Why does her tail come out of her spine? Ugh, I'm losing my fucking shit, man. Dude, who the fuck is this? Ada Wong. Oh, god damn it. That is one tall lady. What are we going to go with her?
How's the patient doing today, Father Zander?
With a much high-pitched voice that I was expecting.
Oh my! He's awake! Father Zander, wake up!
Oh, what's that? Oh! Thank you, Minnie. I must have dozed off there for a second.
Oh shit, the music's actually playing. Bit more than a second.
My goodness, how embarrassing.
Good morning, Mr. Doe. My name is Minnie. How you feeling today?
Yes, how are you feeling, young man? You're finally awake. Better, I hope. It feels like it. In fact, I'm feeling rather well rested. Talking should be a fair bit easier today. Yes. I feel a bit stiff. Oh, it feel a bit stiff. That'll pass away once you're back up your feet and moving around. It won't be long for a young whippersnapper like you.
You know what they say about humans? They're made of rubber. They can bounce back from anything. Which is why I broke his legs with a hammer, just to prove a point.
It is certainly getting said. Doesn't feel much like rubber, though. Oh, well, in any case. Well, quite happy to see you up and, well, I suppose it'd be premature to say up and about. Up may not be entirely accurate either.
But that could change soon. Claudia has been like your personal guardian angel in the past 3 days. So between her and all the prayers we've been saying for you, nothing to worry about.
Oh, shit, she's one of those people. I'm gonna need a minute. Horsha has been quite the helper. And speaking of helping, Minnie, why don't you get this poor fellow's soup heated up? It's about lunchtime.
Oh yeah, of course. I'll be back in a jiffy.
Give me that fat soup hot dog. What are we talking about? I'm feeling better. Oh, right. Yeah, yes, how much you owe to Claudia for your recovery. You know, I'm not particularly squeamish, but I was relieved when she offered to handle stripping you down and dressing your wounds. You see, I'm a homosexual, so seeing a man naked would very much violate my celibacy. Humans are made of rubber when they just go out to do the thing we see in cartoons. That's where cartoons are based off of, idiot. I was relieved to see she offered to handle stripping you down and dressing your wounds. Ah! She probably has my clothes. I'm gonna have to ask her for those back when I see her next. You weren't really looking too good when we dragged you in here, and Claudia, being the professional, is insistent on giving you a good and thorough cleaning. What? An enema? How thorough? No, don't feel embarrassed. She was very professional about the whole thing. The idea that a Barroso woman was acting professionally while I was so exposed. Thoughts and prayers are both much more valuable than actually doing something to help. You might think, homeless people, that you would prefer to have money or shelter, but you do not understand the exchange rate of thoughts and prayers to dollars, donuts, tents, medical care.
What you need is Jesus.
Exposed. That does not, in fact, comfort me. Unfortunately for you, I'd put the stolen money in that gun of yours and my...
He just fucking knows!
Ah! So now we get down to it. You have them. That I do. And I would like to have a little chat about that when we have a moment alone. The priest stone loses some of its friendly warmth as it has, as you can choose. And I do not believe that it is a stretch to assume that you stole all that money. And I heard some rumors that Volcaldera's most famous criminal organization went oddly quiet about 3 days ago. What? That's weird. As if there had been some sort of upset. Was that their payment? Was that the fucking payment for Alphonse and they decided to top him over for that? Damn. One AP enema coming up. And on the night of the caper in question, a man appears on God's doorstep with a bag full of money, a gun, a fake ID. I'm left wondering, was that your doing? Is there any benefit to lying here? I don't think so. He already has the money and the gun. So guess where the money came from, and he hasn't called the police. You know, I'm a little more interested in the story now. I'm not interested in the story of being hunted down by Alfonso, but I'm interested in the story of, like, shit went down and this character has no fucking clue what to do. It is. He hasn't called the police. He must want something. A bit of truth now may let me get out of it faster. If it lets me cut a deal, I can just escape later. Probably. Yes. The elderly uncle of the store makes a face of expecting more of a verbose response. And did you plan on robbing Alfonso in particular? No! Why didn't you escape when you found out we were dealing with? Hardly seems like a sensible thing to do, sticking around after finding out you were robbing someone too dangerous. That is an excellent question, actually. I knew there was something off from the start, but I kept going anyway. Even when things went sideways, there weren't that many guards. I could have gone out the second floor hall window. I think there was even a drain pipe under it I could have climbed. I don't know. I just had to see. A very bad thief, you know that. I used to be a thief in my day. You already said that you were a bank teller and an accountant. Yes, and I was also a thief. Listen, when you lived to the age of 60, back in the good old times of the economic crash of 2008, you have to pick up some jobs. I can't help but scrunch my face in mild offense at that statement. No, don't look so sour. Being lousy at a sinful profession is hardly an insult. I love this guy! And it has given me idea to offer you an opportunity.
You see, perhaps I can work for... I happen to work for someone who's in the business of providing second chances, and fortunately for you, I'm able to offer you a chance to do something good and get a fresh start. Tell me, what do you think of Claudia? I know you're going to speak... I'm not kissing Claudia! That's my job!
If God wanted one of them to have a home, he would give them one, but he gave millions to the megachurches. He might be an idiot. Fair enough.
Has our dear Mrs. Grant left an impression?
Are you telling me to marry them? Because I'm not interested. Looks tired.
Ah, you have a good eye. Claudia needs a bit of help with a long-standing problem. She refuses to admit it. She insists that she's fine and then proceeds to take on one responsibility after another. Well, she is a truly loving and charitable woman. She's overextending herself, and it's starting to cause her issues at home for both her and her son.
Oh, shit.
Both Minnie and I have been trying to offer helping her, even tried to subtly assist without asking, but she seems adamant not to let us. For anyone else, this would be an inconvenience at most, and would not require me to make such a request from a stranger. However, as an added complication, I believe the true source of her problems, she, like you, has something in her past that she is still grappling with. Something about the grave, I'm afraid. Something that I fear, if not resolved, will lead to tragedy. I've tried to help her again, but she refuses to heed my guidance. She even demands that I leave it be. All I ask of you is to return the kindness that she has shown you and help her in any way you can. Think of it as a sort of penance. It'll help find a troubled sort as yours a way out of such a sinful life.
That is not the offer I was expecting.
It explains why he didn't hand me over to the police, though.
He needs my help sorting out Claudia's personal problems for some reason. Does leave quite a few questions on the table. Wow. We're just deep diving, huh? I imagine that we just get to ask every question we want. Alright.
You mean now that I know it was fake?
What? So I had to ask some friends of mine to run a background check on your ID. They were also helped themselves to your fingerprints and ran a check of those too. Between your face, name, prints, they made an interesting discovery. Turns out it never existed in any branch of the military. Nor is there any trace of your face or fingerprints. Nothing criminal or otherwise. Whoever you really are doesn't have any history of the sorts. As far as the law says, you don't exist. But curious in this day and age. If not, somewhat impressive. Very thorough friends. Get as old as I am.
With friends as old as mine, one tends to be uninformed.
Particularly those friends are still in the service. Might have had some army training. Assume it was just basic first aid or something. The fact that he's still able to call in favors implies he must have had a decently high rank. Oh crap, did I... From cannibal mobsters to pissing off the military. Which service?
A few here and there have a long history. While I wore the garments of a priest, I wore the uniform and rank of major in combat application group.
Call it the Delta Force! Get this propaganda man out of here! For my part in this little investigation was nothing too serious. Guess what? I control how bored you are in the near future. And now you work for me. All I did was make a few phone calls as a friend checked your enlistment stats. The other stuff was added by my other friends. The ones in the Volcaldera Police Department. Well, I'm sure you shall eventually meet if you stick around. Hopefully you'll be in good terms. Great. Simple priest in a small-time parish with friends all over the city and the country. He's a fucking priest, man! They get into contact with people! What do you think confessionals do? Probably a safe bet that he also knows the taxi driver personally, too. Damn it! He's been set up. Little life lesson for a young man. It pays to make friends. What if I say no? Oh, well, the police will assist you in performing your penance. So I have no choice. On the contrary, man always has a choice. Help you or jail. Seems right. Help Claudia or jail. Understand your confusion, my son, is natural. No man can force another into a life of virtue, and man must choose to do good for him to be truly good. He isn't wrong, though. You always have a choice. Just as a man must choose to do evil in order to be truly evil. You are free to say no. That's your choice. However, I'm free to obey my morals and have you incarcerated for not only the protection of my flock, but your protection as well. My protection. Of course. I know shepherd of a parish, which maybe please now includes you. And giving rules, I say, dubious at best. And also protect you from the gangsters. Yeah! Ugh. Yeah, going to prison is a great way to get caught by the mob. A man chooses, a slave obeys. It'd be quite liberating. Maybe like a second nature once you get into the habit. And so very often it's not difficult. Jesus Christ, man. Where's the money? I shall return it to you, don't worry. That's a surprise. Why? My goodness. My dear boy, are you implying that I would take something that doesn't belong to me? It sounds like an easy way to get into quite a heap of trouble, if you ask me. The priest's amicable demeanor and sarcastic tone draw a frustrated grumble from her throat. Grumble all you like, young man. I'm still a priest. I'm obliged to the stealing is generally frowned upon. But that all aside, the money in and of itself is neither good nor evil, just a resource. A man who use it can be those things. You stole an awful lot of money from a particular evil individual, from what I understand, which can certainly hinder or even derail some nefarious scheme he planned. It may be God's will that you should not only steal that money, but end up here. A place full of people who can guide you out of the darkness of your life. Doubtful. Members are quick to dismiss the possibility. The money remains in Alfonsi's claws and will certainly be used for something despicable. But in your hands, there's a possibility it could be used for a good purpose. As long as you use that money to help, say Claudia, or at the very least don't do anything outright malicious. See no issue letting you keep it. Nor any reason to inform the police you possess it. Old Soria is right about Alfonsi's intentions. Me using a lot of cash for the rest of my life on the road is not as bad as waging a race war. Race war? Getting some McDonald's. Genocide? A nice stay at a nice hotel. I don't know, man. Seems 50-50 to me. Still gonna have to count out the money when I get the chance. No telling if this priest or the taxi driver helped himself to a bit of it. How the fuck would you even know? What if I just leave? But you've recovered and have the money left to your own devices? Yep. That'd be unfortunate, but it's a possibility I've considered. One that I have no power to prevent you choosing, of course, but I would advise against it. Although you would presumably remove yourself as a conservative, you might flux it. If those looking for you would follow your trail here, that would let me know that someone fitting your description. Oh, yeah. I do appreciate that he's like, yeah, there's not much I can do, but I can tell them that you're gonna be over there. You always have friends. Oh, that's cute. As long as you're here, at least you have a place to hide. But out there, they might cross the world to find you. That's advise you to stay. If you leave, you'll be alone when they find you out there on the road. If they find me. Confident talk from someone laid up on the couch. I've been around for a while, and when I've seen, the deeds always catch up with a man. Sure, no one can run from them forever. If you do escape Alfonso, the police, or even your own consciousness, and continue your thieving ways, I understand you can't outrun God. You'll find him waiting at the end of his life. I appreciate that he's like, yeah, I guess you could technically succeed, but you'll still die and you have to talk to good old G-Man about this. Which is exactly what a fucking priest would tell you. And he'll know what you are and what you've done to get there. And so if you're willing to listen to some advice from an old coot and listen to this, better to face your demons now than be confronted by them when you meet the Almighty. God loves betting on the demons. He's an asshole like that. Especially when you have friends around you that are willing to help you overcome them. God, this is such a fucking saccharine, stupid story. Convincing enough argument to hand around, I guess. But he doesn't have a bunch of man-eating monsters hunting him. If his offer of shelter is genuine, at the very least, can hide out for a while. Maybe I'll get lucky and all his ill deeds will catch up with him before he catches me. I don't think I'm that lucky, though. Come on, man, be a bit more positive. This song is like really low key. Oh yes, if I thought about that, I'd be foolish that there's not some risk with him staying here. You've set some dangerous people. I must confess this aspect of deciding whether to allow you to stay here weighed more heavily upon me than any other. But I am the shepherd of this parish, and also to any who arrive here in need of help. I could not turn you away without trying to help you. Now, offering you sanctuary with us means very little to those you've stolen from. The biggest advantage you have right now is that those thugs don't know where you are. So, if you don't just scamper off when you recover from your injuries, I advise keeping a low profile. Not just for our safety, but your own. Sanctuary, wasn't that the concept that's still viable? Wasn't aware that concept was still viable in this day and age. Yeah! Still, hoping I don't get found. Doesn't sound like much of a plan. Got a plan B? I got some friends in the VBPD who are keeping an eye on things. Those give me certain assurances. In particular, that this coroner is a bit of a blind spot for Alfonsi's gang. Apparently, they prefer to focus on the city center where all the money is. Yeah, I mean, they can barely turn a fucking profit there. They're not going out here. In any case, these friends of mine have promised that if they see Alfonso or his minions making a move, they'll show up in force. On something, I suppose. That's an awful lot of faith. Which seems part of the core for a priest. Still one thing he's concerned about, however. What about me? What if I'm dangerous? Possibility occurred to me. The fact you're considerate enough to ask is quite reassuring. Shows you at least some sense of empathy towards others. But to answer your question, if you're Claudia or any other member of my flock in any controllable way, I'll kill you. Or make one hell of an attempt at it. If you, like, this is what I mean, right? With Alfonsi, you know, big man, you could probably just hide behind a doorway. Because you can't fucking get through it. But this man, you wouldn't see him coming. Right? He's right behind you. Ah! My kidney! As a man chooses his slave because isekai. See, they get it. Having our power to ensure you are found by either the police or Alfonsi and his men. Good to know. Said I will come that far, of course. You seem like a decent enough fellow. Give him the pat-pats! Alright, I guess we only got one left. Thieving advice aside, of course. Bold claims. Although, given how old is it? I don't want to fish got. Yeah. You don't want to know if this old man still got it. Because that's a big risk. He had it once. He might still. I was planning on hurling it anyway. It's a lot easier to get out of these people's lives as fast as possible and let them forget all about me when I don't shoot them with a gun. Although I wonder why he hasn't up Claudia if he's so protective of her. Well, we already explained that, but in another one, I think. Quite a pickle that. She has confided to me the nature of the troubles, but she also insisted I should not interfere. And although I have advised her for some time to let me or someone else help, she refuses. His motto might be big, but his collision box is normal. What a fucking cheater! But what is it? I'm sorry. She spoke to me in confidence about this. I will not break the trust she put in me by telling you what she told me. What I can tell you is that it will not be difficult to figure out the basics of what's troubling her, and those should become rather clear quickly. The finer details on how to approach the issue is where you must tread carefully. It's not ideal, but it may work to your advantage if you are able to coax the details out of this dilemma out of yours, okay? You know, rapport with her, she may be able to... Side benefit, you always claim ignorance if you should you overstep when investigating the topic. Yeah, I mean, Scarlett's a good woman. I'm confident you're able to handle. Okay. May surprise you that oftentimes solutions to many of life's problems is just to be honest. I'm not good at talking. That is certainly stilted patter in your voice. You don't talk much to others, do you? No. Job discourages it. Ah, that's so true. I suppose asking you to know Claudia a bit outside of your wheelhouse too. Yeah. Don't be afraid, son. Like I said, she's a good and patient woman, you'll find a reason to talk to. May even find yourself becoming good friends if you allow yourself to open up a little. That didn't happen. I'm already involved in this little job more than I'd like to be, and I haven't even agreed to it yet. Man, this fucking situation's nutso. Ooh. So I guess we're doing endings. I don't want to bother with fucking endings, man. I'm just not looking for another one of those stories. Huh. He sends the goons in. He might. He just might. Sorry, I'm getting hot. my house is slowly warming up. They say it's 1 to 3. That's like the warm hours, but out here, usually it takes a while for the heat to actually start settling in and seep into the building. So is Win just permanently gonna have this fucking hair, this fucking shadow over his face going on? That's just funny at that point, man. Actually, it's not even funny. It's just fucking weird. Oh, man, I'm melting here. I'm melting! I'm melting! Let's get to the chase. I think I'm gonna move on. I'll do one more, and then we're gonna call it. Because I am slowly but surely melting it. Let's get on with. Let's say to really know. Get in, solve the little problem Claudia has. Get out. Don't get caught. Don't get attached. Simple. Situation might not be ideal, but it's a lot better than being at the mercy of Alfonsi and his gangsters. I'll have to be stuck in Volcaldera Nights for a while, then I may as well be with these people. They seem like they're willing to let me hide out with them. Always gives you some time to work on an escape plan if things go sideways. Alright, I'll help. Wonderful! Wonderful! Dun, 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 dun. Made the joke that for the good end the shadow lift from his face. It's gotta reveal that he's just actually black under there. Like he's a fucking chimera. You know what? I like that ending. That's all I wanted to see. Hold up. You know, the shadow really worked extremely well when the character was actually doing sneaky thief business, and I was just look so goofy.
I think it's a fine thing of you to do, my son. I think you will find that this penance I ask of you, to help another to do a good deed like this, to allow yourself to be compassionate, is no punishment at all. If you need assistance, know that I will always be here to help you if you lose your way. I think me and you should be just about done prepping that soup for you.
Goodbye! Ancient Aglet shuffles his way out of the lounge, leaving me alone with my thoughts. This shouldn't be too bad. That's what everyone says right before it gets too bad! I can handle this. As long as I keep a low profile, everything should be fine. Probably shouldn't spend too much time. Probably should spend this money while I'm hiding. You never know who the guy that you're buying from is talking to. Can't risk a used car salesman being... Yep. Pass some money off to Claude and never buy things for me. Although I might get suspicious too. Breathe a heavy breath through my nose, causing soreness in my chest to make itself known. Damn it. I'm trying to avoid being tied down to anyone or anything, to not be remembered and now this. Hopefully I can just go one way through this and then this. Yes, simple. Before I can think too deeply about my own issues, my thoughts turn away to thinking about the task ahead of me. Claudia seems nice enough. The soup better be warm. It's in 30 minutes! I have no idea how I'm going to help her with her problem. She doesn't even let her priest friend do so. I don't really know if I've agreed... I don't really even know what I've agreed to help her with either. Could be worse, I guess. That Alisar woman, Deirdre, could have caught me, and I'd probably having a far less pleasant time. Before I can focus my thoughts, to discern what Claudia's problem could even be, the door swings open. The Sarah Topsit woman, Minnie, appeared holding a steaming bowl of soup. Moving quickly into the room, she places the bowl on the table, and then takes the now vacant seat of others enter.
Hello again, Mr. Doe. Are you feeling hungry? I'm sorry it took so long to get the soup ready. I promise it'll be worth it. It's a special broth recipe that I make it for the soup kitchen at the mission. Everything a body needs to be nice and healthy, whatever your carnivore or for anything in between.
I don't remember eating anything since I got here. But I don't feel that hungry either. Kinda sore. Try sitting up though. Maybe your positioning will change my appetite. With considerable effort and pain, I managed to rise up from my seated position.
Oh my goodness, look at you. I didn't know you'd be bouncing back this quickly. Oh my gosh, you're making so much progress. Would you like to see if you can feed yourself?
I can't hide the quizzical expression from crossing my face when she offers to let me feed myself. She notices my confusion.
Oh yeah, Claudia's been making sure that you're feed the same broth while you were asleep.
Ah, yes, Claudia, of course. She does seem to have been an attentive nurse. I suppose I'll have to thank her for that. In any case, I don't feel hungry. Just sore. If I could sit, maybe I've recovered enough to stand. Might be worth trying to find out.
So would you like to try to eat something on your own?
No, thank you. Not hungry.
Oh. But Claudia said that you should eat regular in order to speed up your recovery.
I'm fine. Just want to try standing.
Oh dear, you really shouldn't strain yourself like that. Claudia says...
Ignoring the concerns of the tall, soaring woman, I lean forward and prepare my legs to support my weight, which sent intense pain riding through my entire body. I quickly reverse my direction and ease back down onto the couch, although not without a painful groan escaping my throat.
I warned you.
Resist the urge to shoot a curt look towards the saurian woman, although I did allow myself a rather sour-sounding grunt. The aches in my bones began to subdue as I sank into the cushions. However, I could already tell that my failed attempt will leave a stinging sensation with me for a while.
Maybe you should lay back down and let me give you your soup, or you should at least get some rest.
As appealing as that sounds, I really need to get up and moving sooner rather than later. I'm pretty sure if I lay back down now, I'll just go unconscious again. I would like a bit more information before I do that. Just what exactly Father Santa told people about me? Not yet. Have some questions.
Oh, well, if you're feeling up to it, I suppose I can answer some questions for you. Although Claudio should be pretty soon, she may be able to tell you more than I can, considering she's been taking care of you a lot more than I have.
I've certainly got some questions for her too, especially now that I've been volunteered to help her. For now that the tricks of Miss Minnie here. So, you work here?
Oh, you could say that. My actual job is running a diner not too far from here, which keeps me plenty busy during the week. But I volunteer almost every weekend. Usually as the event planner at St. Sadler's, but I also upkeep various bits of paperwork in order. Whatever it's coordinating with the other churches to get a charity event set up or a food drive for feeding the homeless. I'm the one who puts the word out or calls up the other churches and chapels to get things moving. You could say I'm sort of the church's #1 secretary, which I suppose is pretty easy to be when you're the only one in the running.
The only one?
Oh yeah, it's just me and Father Xander running things around here.
Interesting. Knowing that, Xander and Claudia might be the only people who know about me. Father Xander.
Huh?
What has he said about me?
I'm not sure what you mean about that.
Like who I might be?
No? Father says it's like you of poor souls lost their way in life and needs help and guidance. And we should respect your privacy. But if you give us any government promise to let him know, does that answer your question?
I suppose it does more or less. It appears the old priest is keeping what he knows about me to himself, for now anyway. I guess he doesn't want a scout that's letting them know they're harboring a thief that's getting haunted by the mob and was armed and dangerous. Miss Claudia likely wouldn't want to let me through her door if she knew that, let alone open up about her problems. Speaking about Claudia, you and Claudia friends?
Of course, we're the best friends. Going on for about 5 years now.
You both nurses?
Oh, well, that's, we did meet under different circumstances. I just do what Claudia tells me to. She's the real paramedic around here.
Ah, puns. The lowest form of joke. At least that one was a little bit clever. Although I see now why she's being so dodgy about Claudia being a nurse. Then again, maybe I shouldn't be throwing stones.
Oh, she's really spearheaded taking care of you. That feeding, cleaning your clothes, giving you sponge baths.
Yes. Xander mentioned. What did you do?
Oh, I just make soup and keep an eye on you while you slept a little yesterday. Well, it doesn't sound like much, but also helped in the most important way around it, too.
I can't help but give her a curious look. Sounds like Claudia did all the work already. What could have possibly been left?
I pray to our Lord and Savior Rep that Jesus to help you recover.
I don't scoff at the woman, but my reaction is certainly a muted one. Okay. I wasn't exactly sold on prayer as a method to treat wounds. But if it helps, I take it. I could use the help. Mom, especially now that I've kicked the Hornets' nest and stole the Hornets' money. Again. Maybe after Jesus' priorities are backwards and he's helping me if he's helping me, not Claudia. Or smiting Alfonsi. The woman's once again a familiar face walks in. You know, he has a good point. Like, I get it, God works in mysterious ways is often the excuse, but God works in fucked up, stupid ways. More like. God, could you make less long bets? Like, oh yes, there's going to be a race war. Unless this one human learns to be nice, all the humans are going to get burnt. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Why are you going back to the Old Testament ways? Claudia enters the room, and the moment she spots me, your face brightens considerably.
Oh, look who's up.
Jesus, you're so fucking tall. Minnie rises to greet Claudia with a quick hug as the parasol woman enters.
How are things going, Minnie? Our friend seems to be improving. Oh, he's doing wonderfully. We're just chit-chatting a bit while Mr. Doll wakes up an appetite. Oh, really? Let me have a look at him.
Oh, she looks so fucking tiny now. Like, why is he so huge? Pink parasol woman takes the open seat and spends several moments looking me up and down. Before long, though, she gives a slight harm before speaking again.
Hello again, Mr. Doe.
Yes, hello.
Mr. Doe, you're going to have to eat the soup.
I don't feel hungry!
Trust me, you are. Your body is just too sore to register hunger at the moment. Once we get some food in your aches and pains will feel a lot better. Here, lay down and I'll help you eat.
I never considered myself to be all that prideful, but some intellectual part of me rebels at the thought of being fed. Heathen, I have to re-cripple you to establish a baseline. We also need to do a control, so... Jesus. Sights! May not be able to stand up, but I should be able to eat a bowl of soup. I can do it.
Feed myself!
She seems to agree with that statement.
Raise your arms for me, please.
Since I have strength test, so I comply.
I attempt to, anyway.
They don't reach halfway up my chest before my lungs start to burn in pain, and my arms completely lose their strength. I'm only able to lift them up for a few seconds before I relent and let my shaky limbs drop back down to my knees.
Okay, point mate. I may need some help in eating.
See? Now lay down and relax.
I still don't see why I need to lay down. As my station holds a single finger and threatens to poke me with it. I exchange a glance at the storied woman and understand the message. Considering the state I'm in from just lifting my arm, a single finger would probably be more than enough to topple me. I obediently lay down on the couch. He's been burritoed! Our man has been burritoed! What a terrible fate he must suffer. Oh man, I'm still so fucking messed up, man. Like, what's the temp like right now? Let's take a look-see. Could be worse. Could be worse. Claudia takes a few seconds to readjust the blankets and cushions until I'm once again tucked in comfortably. In spite of my previous defiance, I do appreciate returning to the previous position.
Oh, it seems you're good about taking care, Claudia. I'll be in my office planning out the New Year's charity drive if you do need any more help. Oh, thanks, Minnie. I got it from here.
After a second exchange of friendly smiles and a slight pat on the parasol shoulder from her friend, Minnie leaves. This guy really hates fucking periods, doesn't he? Like, very few sentences bother to end like that. Without missing a beat, she grabs a now lukewarm broth and begins to...
Oh no, spoon feeding.
That niggling feeling of embarrassment to being fed like an infant flames up again. But focusing on the dull pains throbbing in my body let me swallow the feeling down and let Claudia perform her task. At least she doesn't ask for an ah. Minutes tick by in silence, slowly but surely, and the cold broth is consumed, until she finally manages to take one hand to raise my head forward and drains the last vestiges of the bowl's contents in my mouth. Despite the temperature, it was really quite tasty. Also seems Claudia was correct. Now that I actually had some food in my stomach, some of those aches and pains subsided. I found myself feeling rather good for a moment or two. Claudia replaces the now empty bowl on the table and once more gives me an appraising look before smiling.
You feeling better?
Yes.
Great. I think at your current rate of recovery, you should be on your feet in a couple of days. Maybe even tomorrow if you use a crutch.
Well, something to look forward to, I guess.
So, I spoke with Mother Xander on my way in, and he tells me that you don't have a place to stay. Is that true?
Open your mouth, here comes the goth tarot. Ew! Is that a penis? Originally, I was going to find a hole in the wall in the skin row, but apparently that's no longer on the table. Apparently, I had thought I'd be staying here at the church. Honestly, but okay. This couch isn't the most uncomfortable I've ever slept on. But seems Xander doesn't want to be using his church lounge as a motel room. I don't. Male Fang, why are you only in bad fix?
I see. Well, if you want, I have a spare room in my house. It's a bit cramped, but I guarantee you it'll be better than sleeping on the couch. And it'll be much easier for me to monitor your recovery until you're back on your feet.
I think I see now. Xander knows Claudia is quick to offer to help people. So he appeals to a desire to let me into a home. I just noticed that we got like 30,000 lines to go through, so I got a feeling in the back of my head. Like, this is a demo, right? Fucking hell. It's a chunky ass demo, man. Listen, I'm slowly melting here. We're gonna find a good chop off point. We're just gonna call it. So he appeals to her desire to help me, then drew her home. That way, when I offer to help her with her problem, I can just say I'm repaying her hospitality. All without being invasive or giving her the option to say no, because that would be partially her idea. I'm there anyway. Pretty sure knows how to get people to do what he wants. Well, he is a Delta Force guy. Okay. Wonderful. Managed to throw himself in the freezer. Maybe I should. Me and Malcolm will spend the next couple of days getting his spare room cleaned up and a bed made up. It's currently being used as a storage space, so... Malcolm? I think Xander mentioned she had a son or something earlier. I may as well ask. Who is Malcolm? Although Claudia seemed to be wearing a smile before, still marred somewhat by exhaustion. The tiredness of the features vanishes as she begins to answer, and is replaced by a tenderness I've never seen before. Malcolm is my son. He's my everything. That isn't a problem for you, I hope. I hate children! Every child I've ever met, I've tried to devour. I bite them in the neck, and I drain them of their vitae. It is how I stay so youthful. I'm a 500-year-old vampire. We're gonna need to talk about this real damn fast. Listen, either you get real damn comfortable with a lot of stuff real damn fast, or we're gonna have a problem. Okay, listen, woman, you might say, I can't believe you're a vampire, but it's worth pointing out that I eat less children than any Republican does. Have you seen the amount of children they go through? At least I am on a diet. But Safi, you're not a billionaire. I promise you he's extremely well behaved for his age. He even doesn't say 6'7", which is honestly a miracle in this day and age. I don't have a problem with it as long as the kid keeps his distance. It's fine. I'm so glad to hear that. Very quiet and won't be a bother at all. He's such a sweetheart. I'm sure the two of you will get along great. Especially if you like cars. Yeah! I love hot wiring one. Hopefully this isn't one of those situations where the mom thinks the kid is a saint, but they're actually a hellion.
That we may have a problem.
So if you're going to be staying with us, is there anything I need to get to make you feel more at home? Well, I'm going to need a hornet's nest in the corner, at least 5 cobwebs. And do you have pollen? I always get seasonal allergies in the hotels I stay in. I'm fine. Really? Any type of food? Any allergies? Clothes? I don't need much. Even so, you need something. I can get you some meat products if you don't want to be stuck in a herbivore diet. Oh yeah, because she's looking. I don't have a deep fryer, man. I can't make you deep fried stuff. We barely eat fried potato chips. Maybe some hot dogs. Give me that fat hot dog. Or some chicken nuggets or something. What kind of things do you like? What should I tell her? What to ask for? I'm fine. I don't know what to ask for. I don't know. I never owned anything. Always moving around. I just left out of a car. An unmistakable look of pity crosses her face, though not entirely. I see shades of other emotion mixed in, like she's remembering something. However, it passes quickly as she once again starts asking questions. You still like things, right? The man subsists on hot pockets and not even his own pockets. Okay, look. Oh God, I'm it's so fucking warm here. And I'm still mad. And this song is so nice. It reminds me of something, but I don't know what. I can't pull it to the front of my mind, but no, it's Magic Maker, right? Magic Maker has like a little guitar stringy song that kind of sounds like this. It uses a bunch of guitar strings. Magic Maker, which is not like Mischief Makers. Gas station coffee is okay? No, I mean like food. Actual food? Breakfast biscuits? Oh my. You've never had a real meal? Ever? Woman, I don't even know what meat looks like. What does she count as real meal? Food's food, isn't it? Good grief.
That broth must have been the closest thing you've had to actual food in years. Don't you worry. If there's one thing I guarantee is that you'll get proper meals while you're under my roof. Even if I have to cook you something myself. Guess I'm gonna have to get a crash course in what constitutes real food, then. Well, I suppose that's all for now. I'll try to dig up a crutch from somewhere around here, and then tomorrow we'll see how well you can move around. And once you're comfortable moving around a little, we can move you to my house in a couple of days. Does that sound like a plan? I give an affirmative grunt. Affirmative. Oh! With a little warning, she leans forward. With a careful brush of her thumb, she wipes a small speck of broth from the corner of my mouth. There. Wouldn't want you stuck with that little thing before I go. Unless you want to talk a bit more, I'll let you get some rest. Claudia gathers the soup dish and prepares herself for to depart. I don't like how... I get that he has to be down there because of how the angles work, but it really fucks up the capacity to see his expressions when the text box is in the way. It occurs to me I didn't really ask her any questions like I had wanted to. I do feel the exhaustion begin to overtake me, but it may be worth asking her to stick around for a bit longer. Of course, I may just fall asleep in the middle of the conversation anyway. God damn, this fucking fic, man. Goddamn. You know what? We need to talk with her. No doubt like the present. Wait. I do like that the main character has like two different narrations. One feels like he's trying... I don't know. It's just funny to me. Because it feels like one of them is like the gravelly detective voice that he's giving himself, and the other's like the actual genuine thoughts he has as a person. Maybe he just actually thinks to himself like that, instead of just observational thoughts. Yes, is there something else? I like to talk. By the way, you should put spaces after ellipses. Oh, well, all right. Pink Pharisee puts the bowl back on the table and retakes a seat. So what would you like to talk about? Your son, Malcolm. In the middle. Anything else I should know? Once more, her face gained a certain brightness to it. I could talk about him all day. He really is a wonderful boy. I'm certain you'll love him. He's absolutely obsessed with those little collectible cars. If you let him, he'll talk your ears off about which ones... Ah, so your child's an artist. I knew it was going to be hard mode, but this is going a little too far even for me. I honestly don't know how he keeps up with all the various brands. He asks me to give him a new one every time I go out. Father Xander even lets me have fist pick through the donation box. Fist pick, yeah. Just reach in there, full fist. He also plays a lot of video game with his babysitter, Tiffany. Tiffany? Oh, no, sorry. Hold on, what's the fucking name I gave that character again? I'm so pissed that I'm probably going to have to kill that game because it's just annoying the shit out of me. I wonder if Tiffany's going to be an actual character that we see. Be kind of funny, though. Yeah, her name was Tiffania. Ugh. It's not Tiffany, but it's close. It's better to have a Hot Wheels on the 6'7" one. Ah, yes, he's autistic, and he won't stop saying 6'7". I'll shoot myself, thank you very much. Xander, may I have the gun? I don't know if you know anything about Nintendino, but if he isn't talking about cars, he's talking about that. I don't know anything about video games, but I do know a thing or two about cars. I've stolen my fair share over the years. Hell yeah. Might be able to talk about that. The cars, I mean, not the thievery. What about your home? It's a simple little place. Just a few rooms, but it's got everything a person needs. It has a bed and a chair. I think. So I looked around the files a little bit. I had issues getting this fucking thing set up, by the way. I don't know why, okay? Damn, like, I seriously tried to get the shit set up. And, it fucking locked down, like, twice. Ugh. But looking at it, one of the quick references is, like, a little blueprint. It's adorable. I like Wynn's little place. It's like a little itty-bitty room. Tiny-ass house, though, but hey, fair enough. Ugh, they got one bathroom. All it's really missing is a dishwasher. It just fucking dies! I can't talk about dishwashers forever, lady! Even as she spoke, my eyelids started to droop and my thoughts became less coherent. Claudia apparently noticed my diminishing state of consciousness as she began to speak softer. It was pleasant to listen to as I began to drift. But, well, it's home.
That's good.
Good night, Mr. Doe.
I'm not sure I actually responded to the farewell before I fall back to slumbering oblivion. The next 2 days proved... Okay, listen, I'm done. I'm done. I need my fucking voice back, because this took a toll on today. I'm on the verge of fucking yelling, okay? I'm on the goddamn verge of yelling at so many people! God! Not this fic, though. Do I like it? Yeah. I'm digging it. I like it. It's a bit... I don't know about the intro. It's a bit disconnected from the rest. Not in the way that One is. One-E's intro... One-E's demo section has the problem of being very tonally different from the rest of the game. But here, the demo is going for a different genre altogether, which is probably worse. I don't know if I want the gangsters to get involved with this at all. I don't like them as a story element at all. I get that it's supposed to set everything up, and like, from that point, it's fine. It's better than Wani in that way. But it does mean you have to chew through like an hour or so of straight up, you know, all that before you get there. Yeah, I know it's going to be a while. I don't know if I want to go through all this. I don't... Like, it's nothing against the characters and the writing. It's just like, you know... I only got so much fucking time in my life. Is this how I want to spend it on the next few weeks? I don't know. Actually, I could. Because I can just do the, Yeah, I think it's fine. I think I'll keep this on the schedule. Because I can just do the, what was it called again? Hold up. My brain is turning off because I'm tired. Fuck my brain. Because I want to get back to Meteor Game, and I guess I'll just do that in my own time. I'm so fucking... It's listen, my room is too hot. I'm too mad. This was not the best fucking time to get into this. So I'm just gonna put it up the poll. If I don't get at least 3 votes, I'm calling it a no-go. You might say, Safi, 3 votes. That's cruel. That's mean. You can't just do that, Safi. And I say I can, because I'm a scoundrel. I'm a miscreant. I'm a creature. I can do what I please. And you cannae stop me. You cannae! I don't know about this title theme. It's not a good title theme. It feels more like the background track of a chapter. 2 votes. I need that 3rd vote. I'm sorry. I altered the deal before I made it. Before you even knew there was a deal to be altered. I'm so tired, man. I'm so fucking mad. God, I'm on the verge. And it's not this is pissing me off or anything. It's just fucking everything else is just... God, fuck, man. Is it a good title theme if it makes me want to fall asleep? Alright. Alright. Apparently 4 votes. That's more than I needed. So, we'll do more next week. We might do it on the Sunday or whatever. We'll see. I'm so... Listen. Fuck it. You know what? Music, go away. Music, go away. I'm just gonna get this off my chest. But not on the recording. If you want to look at this, go to the VOD. People who watch YouTube. I'm just gonna lay it out right. Last night, tabletop stuff didn't go through because one guy was missing, and we have a 6-man party. Like, we have 1 GM and 5 players, and they were like, no, but I don't like playing without someone there. With 6 fucking people, you can't, you don't have that fucking luxury, man. This motherfucker has been absent for half the fucking games by this point. We can't just cancel every game when he doesn't show up. which also applies to my Saturday game. But the other problem is we did something in replacement, and that fucked me up because I basically sat around a board game doing nothing for like more than half the time. I didn't do anything, right? Like 2 other people were basically, they took over the whole fucking thing, not in the sense that they were telling me what to do, but like they were the only ones meaningfully contributing. I could have just not shown up. Like that fucking Sentinels of the Multiverse is kind of cute on its own. Fucking slog as hell with 5 people. Like even 4 people. Like it just does not work with that many people. Especially if everyone takes their fucking time with their turns. It's just so slow. And it gets on my nerves. So basically, I sat around doing nothing while nothing happened. Great way to spend several hours of my life. We now have 5 votes. Holy shit. The other one was today, and a guy said he wasn't going to show up, which he said after I went to bed, because I hold this game pretty much right out of, I roll out of bed and I start hosting it. Didn't show up. Fine. We did something else. We kept going into we moved on forwards. Then halfway through, he's like, I'm going to be there in 50 minutes. He's there 30 minutes later, when we're like 20 minutes to end time, and they force me to run it anyway. And I'm like, just, God fucking damn it! Jesus! Do you have time for this game or not? Jesus fucking Christ, at every fucking roll, I have to explain the goddamn rules again! Jesus fuck! I'm not... Oh! So goddamn frustrating! Nobody does anything on their own. All they do is bitch. Well, silent bitches all the fucking time. I'm not good enough. You're putting fucking points in your skills, asshole! Have you considered character progression? I hand out experience like fucking candy! And every time, what do I roll? I said will and a skill. Go to your skills tab. They're alphabetically listed, and all your traits are at the fucking top. Write down your attacks and defenses. There is a section on the combat sheet for them. Jesus fuck! And then there's fucking Cypher. I get it, okay? The effort system is annoying. It's something you gotta wrap your head around to get it to work. But my God, every fucking roll I have to explain everything. Oh, it's so fucking frustrating. It's not fun. I don't like it. Oh my God. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Oh, God. Oh, fuck. Take it as a good sign that I crashed out over something happening in my personal life, and not the is it a mod? It's a standalone. Expand everything every time, like Pot of Greed and Yu-Gi-Oh cartoon. Apparently, in the Japanese version, they actually use the real cards and like the text is on them, which I find fascinating. They did it differently for the other versions because they didn't want to translate it and try to fit the fucking text in. Which, considering how fucking tiny some of the text on Yu-Gi-Oh cards is, I understand. Okay, I get it. God damn, dude. Holy. Holy. No, I didn't mean to fucking do an emoji. I meant to end the poll. I'm going to play Pot of Greed, which lets me draw 3 cards. And then I'm going to play Pot of Greed, which lets me draw 3 cards. We get it, Yugi. You love to draw 3 cards! Do I like Win? I like Win. I like Win, okay? I like Win the character. I like Minnie's design because it's so fucking goofy. There's something about the absolute dark black and white out that just cracks me up. Love it. I don't know if I like Claudia, though. I don't necessarily have much for the love interest right now. Bribing the DMs with snacks is essential. I've run games where things are fine. let's be clear. I would rather be like streaming or recording a shitty fanfic. Not like nothing to something levels of I'm going to crash out and kill myself, but like the more modest level compared to running those D&D games. Like, holy shit, man. Anyway, thank you all for coming. Sorry for crashing out. I just needed to get that off my fucking chest. I just needed to get that off my chest. I'm glad this standalone is kind of neat. God, I would have died if this was bad. I would have jumped right out the window. Whoo! Do the Banana Factory Ancient Doom mod. What the fuck are you talking about? What the what? The Banana Factory Ancient... The Banana Factory Accident Doom mod. Okay, hold up. We need to figure out what the fuck this is. Doom World 1.1. Are there any screenshots? Oh, there they are. It's 45 minutes. How about we do the stream next week a little early? We do the next stream a little early, and then we play Banana Factory. What do you mean there's a part 2? What do you mean there's a part 2? Dear God. On a train? On a train. Dear God. Man, these screenshots are cracking me up. Imp Escape. Oh, yeah, man. Ape Escape reference! We'll do that next week as like a little prequel to the stream. You know what? I'm going to schedule it right now because I will almost certainly forget because I'm fucking stupid. Would you trust my memory? I wouldn't. Oh no, I can't use my stream settings until the stream's over because it's dumb like that. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the votes. Thank you for everything else. Thank you for showing up and having a chit chat. I'm gonna go. I need oxygen. And I have a headache because I screamed too much. So I'm going to probably take a painkiller. Maybe some of that nice hot carfentanil I've heard so much about. Or just juice up on opioids. I don't know. Maybe take a Tylenol if I'm feeling really daring. Be there next week, or you will be square, and I'll call you a dork and a nerd, and I will relentlessly call you out on it. Anyway, to ensure that we are popular with the kids and remain on brand, 6-7, got him.